Hello friends, this is Mercedes. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I go by That Mom and That Mom Wellness Coach. I am a health and wellness and nutrition coach, and I want to show you what we do with vast quantities of tomatoes in my house. This is me actually doing the first time we made tomato paste, and it was a learning process to say the least, but it's very, very simple. So with the cherry tomatoes here, we had to get out a large majority of their seeds as much as possible. So me and my daughter had a like conveyor belt line of I would kind of slit the tomatoes at the top into four and without totally cutting them open. And then she would take them and squeeze them into another bowl. And we did that for about 8 cups of cherry tomatoes. And we put this into a medium, like pan, medium pot that we had. It's not quite of a large one and it's not quite a quart one, so it's like an in between one. And then you let it go low and slow for a few hours, and you get this type of thing that's here in this pan. This is the tomatoes reduced down to like a fourth. And as you can see, I burnt the pan. I totally forgot about the pan and we went out to eat. And I remembered once we got there and we drove back home real fast and I turned it off, and this is still the aftermath of what happened, but it all came clean and everything. So I ended up, as you can see, I put it in a glass pan and I put it in our confectioner's oven and I finished it in there for a few hours. And this is a multi-day recipe, but I was doing this within one day because this was, like I said, my first time doing this. And now I know to do it over the course of a weekend. So when you put it into the oven, you basically put it into the thinnest um, like the thinnest layer you can, and you're supposed to like move it around and like stir it every so often. I believe we put this down on the lowest that our oven could go, which was about 200, and we let that go for another couple hours. And then, as you can see, I put them into little tablespoon. That's about 2 tablespoon was worth of tomato paste into those balls, and I used my ice cream scooper, and then we froze them into these little puck balls, and they work very, very well for our recipes. We can just grab them and throw them in the recipe, and they last for up to 6 months in the freezer. I don't seal any of my bags in the freezer. If you sealed your bags, like if you had um, a vacuum sealer, you could probably make them last much longer than a year in the freezer. And also, if you can them, you can make them probably last longer than a year. But these ones, they go so fast in our house. We get a box of tomatoes every month or so, especially during tomato season. We get a lot of tomatoes. We get them from the 3000 Club and Borderlands and another few places that we get co-op food from. This recipe is a tomato sauce. It's a little bit different. You don't need to get rid of the seeds in the tomato sauce. With the tomato paste, it's not required, but it's recommended to get rid of the seeds. So that's why we were getting rid of the seeds in the tomato paste. But with the tomato sauce, all you do is you cut them into manageable sizes. And as you can see, I am using a crock pot. I will show you my crock pot, guys. It is very old. It is probably from the 1980s or whatever, but it still works. Actually, you put your tomatoes within your crock pot and you just let it simmer, and low and slow. You can stew them. You can take some stewed tomatoes out before they get down to the soft consistency, but I let these go until they did kind of go down in size. I didn't have a picture of this crock pot on the inside when they were stewed, so I put in this other picture. And as you can see, that is the sauce, and I'll show you the blender here in a second. But it's super easy. You just let it simmer as long as you can, and then you put it into the blender, let it blend up and everything. And as you can see, I did freeze a whole bunch into trays, and we ended up using the sauce that night as well. We made some cold dormer, which I will have an image of here coming up. It was very, very simple. We didn't put any like base seasonings into the tomato sauce. We just made a pure tomato sauce, which is able to go with almost anything. We took that sauce, and for the cold warmer, we put some hot peppers and everything into there, and then we used the sauce later. I think that week, with what I didn't end up freezing, we used it with a chili, and then after freezing, we used them in like spaghetti and everything because that's the number one dish that's made in my house because my kids absolutely adore spaghetti. So, this next section, I'm going to talk to you actually in the video. So, I will get back to you a little bit in the end.
Hello guys, welcome. I wanted to share with you guys really fast one of my favorite items I've ever bought with the name of sustainability. These are super cubes, and I'm going to be taking out, that's a bunch of tomato sauce that we made. So but these, I got them before I stopped purchasing off of a website, so you guys know you can probably find them everywhere else, but I purchased them off of a website that I'm no longer purchasing from anymore. But I'm so happy I did purchase them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 compartments. They're nice brick sizes. You could do butter in these that I saw. You can do, I've done vegetable stock. I've done everything in here. And like I said, I have tomato sauce that I'm going to be taking out of them right now. But this is one of my favorite items that I think I have ever bought in the name of sustainability. So check them out if you'd like. Here we go. A little bit of waste, not bad. Take it and just okay. And then pop it in a bag. And then you can kind of see the lines there about the measurements. These are half cups. Yep. This is it. And then we'll pop it in the freezer. And I will write tomato sauce on it.
Okay, guys, and then that is how you do with the super cubes. And again, they last about 6 months in the freezer. And if you seal them, they are going to be about a year in the freezers again. And if you, of course, do a traditional canning method, they will last even longer in the pantry. So, these have been some amazing options to do with tomatoes. And then bonus is dehydrating tomatoes. I have a whole video on dehydration plus a whole blog post. I will link those above and below. You can do anything with dehydrated tomato, guys, and it takes about 10 hours plus to do tomatoes depending on the size of your dehydrator and the size of your tomatoes. So I wanted to thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. If you are new here, please like and subscribe so that you can catch my next video. Let me know if there's anything you want to see, and please share this video with anybody that you think that it resonates with. I make videos like this and others having to deal with health and wellness and just overall mom life. So I would love to see you here again. And thank you all for watching this video. And I thank you so much. I don't know how many times I can say thank you, but thank you all so much for being here. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.